Imagine this. Under the bright lights of the nation's biggest stage, two figures are set to shape America's future. On one side, Donald Trump, the bold, outspoken candidate eager to reclaim his power. On the other, Kamala Harris, the calm strategist armed with sharp ideas and a vision for progress. But here's the twist. This isn't just another political debate. Beneath the heated exchanges is a fight for the nation's very soul, with effects that could change the world. As the debate unfolds, surprising moments send shockwaves through the audience, shifting the balance in unexpected ways. What if the biggest revelation isn't a clever comeback or a mistake, but a quiet yet powerful change in public opinion? What if the real story comes from the data, snap polls, and betting markets that could overturn all predictions? Get ready to dive into the most important debate of our time, a clash that has sparked intense discussions and reshaped the upcoming election. From fierce arguments about the economy and foreign issues to passionate talks on rights and freedoms, we're breaking down the night's key moments and what they mean for you, the voter. Did the debate change the odds? As the debate wrapped up, one question lingered. Did this showdown change the election's course? According to Polymarket, a popular political betting site, the odds were tight. By the end of the debate, both Trump and Harris were at 49%, but by morning, Harris had edged ahead with 50% to Trump's 49%. While a single percentage point might seem small, in such a close race, it's huge. But was this shift just because of the debate? The answer is complicated. Harris had already seen a bump in polls after her official entry into the race. Typically, these bumps fade over time, and some polls showed a tightening race for the Democrats. However, the debate seemed to strengthen Harris's position. She not only held her ground, but also showed confidence and a clear vision that reassured voters. Unlike Biden's stumble in late June,
It had to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare,
Harris proved she could lead her party. Political experts say the debate didn't drastically change the odds, but did reinforce Harris's credibility as a candidate. She presented herself as the one who would move forward, not backward. With the economy growing and no signs of a recession, historical trends suggest that the incumbent party, in this case the Democrats, has a 56% chance of re-election. Trump in meltdown mode, Harris's provocation. From the start, Harris had a clear strategy: challenge Trump directly and watch his reactions. Early on, she delivered a memorable line: "You won't hear him talk about your needs, your dreams,
and your desires, and I pledge to you that I will."
Trump, as expected, boasted about his rally sizes.
People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies in the history of politics. That's because people want to take their country back.
But this focus on crowd sizes felt disconnected from what voters cared about. A post-debate New York Times/Siena College poll showed that 57% of likely voters wanted to hear solutions to pressing issues like the economy, inflation, and reproductive rights. Swing voters, especially women and suburban independents, were worried about Trump's failure to address these topics. Harris's calm and policy-focused approach paid off. She contrasted her steadiness with Trump's unpredictability. Over 60% of viewers in a CBS News poll felt she remained composed, even as Trump went off track. A Politico live blog captured the mood, with one commenter saying, "This debate is over as soon as Trump brings up windmills again." The general feeling was that Harris's steady performance made Trump look increasingly rattled, the greatest hits of Trump's tangents. Let's take a closer look at some of Trump's more bizarre moments. At one point, he claimed that people crossing the US-Mexico border were eating pets.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
This left viewers and commentators scratching their heads. Even the Fox News' debate panel struggled to understand it, with one commentator shaking his head in disbelief. A Reuters survey after the debate found that 72% of independents thought Trump was scattered or unfocused, leaving them confused about his actual policies. Another eyebrow-raising moment was Trump's praise for Viktor Orban, the Hungarian prime minister, calling him one of the most respected
Highly
men.
respected all over Europe. Probably, like me, a little bit controversial, but that's okay.
This raised questions, given Orban's authoritarian style. Voters wondered why a U.S. president would align with such a figure. Trump also suggested imposing tariffs as high as 100% on countries that abandon the dollar. He had previously mentioned a 20% tax on oil imports and up to 60% on Chinese goods. These aggressive trade policies alarmed economists and investors. In the same Reuters survey, 63% of respondents felt Trump went too far with his extreme measures on the border, leaving voters questioning his focus on immediate issues. Reproductive rights. Harris lands a punch. The debate took a crucial turn when reproductive rights came up. Harris passionately criticized Trump's role in overturning Roe v. Wade, stating, "A 12 or 13-year-old survivor of incest being forced to carry a pregnancy to term, they don't want that. When Congress passes a bill to restore Roe, I will proudly sign it into law." Trump tried to distance himself from the fallout, saying, "I never discussed this with J.D. Vance," referring to his VP running mate. However, his response lacked conviction. A Snap poll from 538 found that 63% of viewers thought Trump's answer was unclear, especially among suburban women, a key demographic in swing states. An analysis by the New York Times showed that after this exchange, Harris gained a notable 5-point bump among female voters under 45. This shift could be significant in battleground states like Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. Voter reactions. Harris clinches the night. In the immediate aftermath, voter sentiment seemed to favor Harris. Focus groups by The Washington Post revealed that undecided voters were impressed by her composure and policy depth. One participant said, "She showed that voting for her is moving forward, not backward." Even some Republicans admitted that Trump didn't perform as well as expected. Many of his supporters and members of Congress expressed concern. A Fox News analyst noted, "He failed to make a coherent argument on the economy, which is crucial for voters right now. Historically, incumbents benefit from stable economic conditions. With the economy growing and no imminent recession, this favors Harris. However, the next 2 months are critical. Economic indicators like job growth and unemployment rates in key states could still sway voter decisions." Polling data. Who won? Polls right after the debate showed a shift toward Harris. A CNN post-debate poll indicated that 55% of viewers believed Harris won, compared to 38% for Trump. Additionally, Harris gained support among moderate Republicans and independents. A YouGov poll found that Harris saw a 4% gain among undecided voters. While these numbers might seem small, in a tight race, they could make a big difference. It's important to remember that polls are just snapshots of a moment. They don't guarantee election outcomes, but can show trends and shifts in momentum. The economy, Harris's plans versus Trump's rhetoric. The economy remains the top issue for many voters. When the debate turned to this critical topic, the differences between the candidates were clear. Harris's economic proposals: $50,000 tax deduction for startups. Harris proposed a significant tax deduction for small businesses, recognizing them as vital to America's economy. While the specifics aren't fully detailed, the goal is to boost entrepreneurship and innovation, increasing housing supply. She plans to add 5 million housing units in the coming years to tackle affordability issues, aiming to make homeownership accessible to more Americans. Price gouging bans. To combat inflation, Harris suggested banning price gouging, especially for essential goods and services. During the debate, Harris stated, "My plan is to give a $50,000 tax deduction to start-up small businesses, knowing they are part of the backbone of America's economy. My opponent, on the other hand, plans to provide a tax cut for billionaires and big corporations, which will add $5 trillion to America's deficit. My opponent has a plan that I call Trump's sales tax, which would be a 20% tax on everyday goods that you rely on to get through the month. Trump's economic proposals, tariffs, and trade wars. Trump doubled down on tariffs, proposing a 20% tax on oil imports and up to 60% on Chinese goods. He also suggested a 100% tariff on imports from countries that abandon the dollar, tax cuts for corporations and the wealthy. Trump aims to extend and expand the tax cuts from 2017, reducing the corporate tax rate from 21% to 15%. Harris criticized Trump's approach, arguing that his tariffs would act as a tax on consumers by raising prices on everyday goods. She labeled his plan as Trump's sales tax, evaluating both plans. According to a Penn Wharton study referenced by Harris, Trump's budget proposal would increase the federal deficit by nearly 5 times as much as hers, $5.8 trillion, compared to her $1.2 trillion over a decade. While Harris didn't mention that her plan also increases the deficit, the scale of Trump's proposed increase is significant. Both candidates would add to the national debt, but the extent differs greatly. Economists agree that tariffs can act as a tax on consumers. By raising the cost of imported goods, consumers may face higher prices at the store. A CNBC survey indicated that 59% of voters see tariffs as a reason for rising prices. A Gallup poll released after the debate showed that 67% of voters wanted more specific economic plans. Harris's detailed proposals seem to resonate, especially among small business owners. A U.S. Chamber of Commerce report found that over 70% of small business owners were more likely to support candidates with concrete relief plans. However, there is skepticism about the effectiveness of some of Harris's proposals. For example, implementing price gouging bans and significantly increasing the housing supply are complex issues that may not yield immediate results. Moreover, with Republicans likely to control the Senate, as they are favored to win seats in states like West Virginia, Montana, or Ohio, Harris may face significant hurdles in passing her economic agenda. This potential gridlock could limit her ability to raise taxes or increase spending extensively. Immigration, diverging views. Immigration was another hot topic. Trump focused on strict border policies, including building a wall and imposing harsher penalties on illegal crossings. He often diverted from other subjects to discuss immigration, sometimes making alarming claims that left viewers puzzled. At one point, Trump stated, "People are killing many people, unlike J6," during a discussion on the border. Such comments left even his supporters confused. Harris approached the topic with a focus on comprehensive reform and humanity. She emphasized the need for a balanced approach, stating, "We need comprehensive reform, but we also need to remember that immigrants are human beings, not political pawns." Her stance appealed to voters seeking a more compassionate approach. A Pew Research Center poll conducted after the debate showed that 58% of independents preferred Harris's measured stance on immigration. Additionally, Harris's handling of immigration earned her a 5-point boost among Latino voters in battleground states like Arizona, according to a Pew Research analysis. Foreign policy, stability versus aggression. Foreign policy discussions highlighted stark differences between the candidates. Trump's perspective. Trump claimed that under his leadership, there were no major wars, emphasizing his ability to keep the U.S. out of new conflicts. He criticized the current administration's handling of Iran, particularly regarding sanctions. He stated during the debate, Iran was broke under Donald Trump. Now Iran has $300 billion because they took off all the sanctions that I had. Iran had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah or any of the 28 different spheres of terror. They had no money. It was a big story, and you know it. You covered it very well, actually. They had no money for terror. They were broke. Now they're a rich nation. Trump argued that sanctions work and that lifting them only empowers adversarial nations. Harris's perspective. Harris emphasized the importance of diplomacy and alliances. She pointed out that unilateral actions can lead to increased global instability. Experts note that while sanctions can apply economic pressure, they don't always lead to the desired political outcomes. Sometimes they can escalate tensions and harm ordinary citizens without changing government behaviors. Global implications. Regardless of who wins the election, global instability remains a significant concern. The U.S.-China relationship is strained, with issues ranging from trade wars to technological competition. Both candidates are likely to continue a tough stance on China, potentially leading to further economic decoupling. In the Middle East, tensions with Iran are high. Trump's maximum pressure campaign through sanctions could increase the risk of conflict. Harris might pursue negotiations, but progress is uncertain. Analysts suggest that neither candidate can single-handedly stabilize global geopolitics. A new understanding between major powers like the US, China, and Russia is necessary to prevent further escalation. What could change before November? With Harris holding a 55% chance of winning, according to some models, the race is still close. Trump retains a significant 45% chance, indicating that the election is far from decided. Several factors could sway voters in the coming weeks. Economic downturn. There are signs of a weakening job market, especially in states like Georgia, North Carolina, Michigan, Ohio, and Nevada. Rising unemployment could hurt the incumbent party. If the U.S. slides into a recession before November, it could be detrimental to Harris's campaign. Stock market volatility. A significant market correction could impact voter confidence in the economy. Historically, downturns before an election have signaled a change in party leadership. Global crises. Any major foreign policy crisis, such as escalating conflicts involving Iran, Russia, or China, could affect perceptions of the current administration's competence. Policy missteps. Either candidate could make proposals or statements that alienate key voter demographics. For example, aggressive trade policies might concern business owners and consumers worried about higher prices. Conclusion: Harris holds the edge. For now, the debate seems to have given Harris a slight but meaningful advantage. Her ability to present clear policies, stay calm under pressure, and connect with key voter groups has strengthened her position. Trump's performance, marked by tangents and controversial statements, may have solidified his base, but did little to attract undecided voters. Even within his party, there are concerns about his approach. However, with several weeks until the election and potential economic and global events on the horizon, the race remains fluid. Both candidates face challenges that could change the current dynamics. For voters, the choice may come down to whose vision for the economy, foreign policy, and social issues aligns more closely with their own concerns and aspirations. That wraps up today's analysis on Earth and earnings. The debate may be over, but its impact is still unfolding. What are your thoughts? Did the candidates address the issues that matter most to you? Do Harris's detailed plans resonate with your hopes for the future? Or do Trump's bold promises align more with your vision? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this analysis insightful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more coverage as we approach November. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you next time. Your voice matters now more than ever. Join the conversation, share your perspective, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to stay updated on the latest developments. Thanks for watching Earth and Earnings, where we break down the news that shapes your world. Please be sure to subscribe, like, and share your comments below.